2022 is here. It's pretty crazy. I have already made some changes. Pretty excited to share those in time. For now, I just wanted to talk about five of my biggest wins from 2021, just to kind of give myself a little bit of reinforcement for all the good I did do last year. That is going to help me have even greater growth and greater learning this year. And they are the 50 push ups in 10 minutes challenge, going to the Treehouse Talks retreat, upgrading my laptop RAM, Pizza Hut, learning about systems, and networking and diving and all kinds of stuff I did at Stu Kent. As always, the podcast helps you with growing your self care and business and just overall, direction in life. It helps you with that. Definitely hit that follow button. We're going to keep on pushing out content and get a lot more interviews going. So, with that all said, thank you. Let's just jump right in. So this 50 push-ups in 10 minutes challenge is kind of interesting. I realized that I needed to get better at push-ups. My my manager at Stu Kent, Bryce, he was doing a push-up challenge in 2021 where he did a push-up every single day and added on one more. So by, you know, December 31st, he was doing 365 push-ups in a day, and I was pretty inspired by that. And so I started doing more push-ups, and I had this idea to try to do 50 push-ups in 10 minutes because when I did the military physical fitness class, sometimes we'd be asked to do 50 push-ups and it'd always take me forever, and I feel kind of self-conscious because like we'd do like push-ups and we'd do sit-ups and then we'd run a mile, and I could always do the mile just fine and do it pretty quickly, but the 50 push-ups always slowed me down because this is all like added up. And you got to be well balanced. You also need to just be aware of the battles you're fighting. But anyway, I did this 50 push-ups in 10 minutes challenge as a thought to like help me refocus, and it worked pretty well. I've done it a number of times. Did it actually today while I was packing. It was do a little bit of packing, do the 50 push-ups in 10 minutes challenge, and then do a little bit more packing. And I also did some packing while I was in the middle of the challenge, and I actually finished at like 10:45. And 50 push-ups in 10 minutes is like nothing, but it's gonna help me get better and better at it, improve my form and stuff, and just overall attention to detail. So I think that's going to help me out a lot. I'm going to try to do that a lot more before I do homework, just to kind of refocus. So that was definitely a win. Going to the Treehouse Talks retreat was super hype. It was so beyond my expectations. We went to the kiln and talked about how to help Treehouse Talks grow, in the bigger vision of it. I got to be part of that. Got to go to this guy's super nice house and just got this vibe of like, if you are willing to plan out things in your life and you're willing to design, you're living your life by design is so fulfilling and so wonderful. And I'd been living my life a lot by default and basically by convenience a little bit, and it was yeah, I wasn't very satisfied. But this guy, living a really awesome life, and maybe I'll get him on the podcast this year, we'll see. But really was super cool to see that, just being around all these awesome, wonderful people that are doing such good things and super ambitious, and just really helped me out a lot, just being in that environment where it was so open, so many ideas, so much inspiration, so much just love, all of that. Got to swim in the guy's like giant indoor pool. He had like a cliff you could jump off of. He had little caves you could go into. He had a full like Millennium Falcon in his house, like a part of his house was like that. It was nuts. It was amazing. And I will never be the same after going to that retreat. And definitely like made me want to live my life by design more. And I'm still like making little changes from what I felt there. But overall, just such an amazing experience and really thankful I got to go. So number three was upgrading my laptop and adding more RAM to it. So I've been wanting to get a gaming computer just for school and just have like a beast of a computer I could run any program on, video editing and all that stuff. But it's just really expensive. And so me and my mom decided to just upgrade my laptop and get more RAM in it. And so we put it from 4 gigabytes of RAM to 8 gigabytes of RAM. And it basically gave it a new lease of life. It's been super nice. It's been super nice. And it kind of gave me some perspective. Like, if you take other things out of your life, you'll have so much more space to get all this stuff done, and it's super empowering to take out a lot of stuff. I've always been somebody to be like, oh yeah, let's learn as much as I can, but then there's some stuff you need to kind of unlearn. You need to let go of, so you can make room for other things. And my laptop kind of being on the fritz and not doing super well is really stressful. So stressful. Like the winter 2021 semester was so stressful because sometimes it would just stop working. I'd be in the middle of a Zoom call for my internship, and it was like not good. And so my mom bought me a Chromebook for the next semester just for school, and I'm still using that. But I'm still using this beefy laptop just for overall other stuff. And it's like a mini powerhouse, but it's also not as powerful because it's becoming more and more obsolete by the year. And it's kind of like us. We need to continue to grow and move forward and continue to upgrade. So it was a big win because if we hadn't put the more RAM in it, this laptop probably wouldn't be doing well. And I have a ton of stuff still in this laptop. So I'm really glad that it's been able to keep kicking. So that was a little blessing, and definitely a big win for the year. Fourth was working at Pizza Hut. I got to the end of the winter 2021 semester and was like, dude, I probably could have worked at Pizza Hut or any other pizza place and done better in school because I just wasn't giving myself a lot of credit and a lot of time to just unwind and refocus. And working at Pizza Hut was awesome because I got to deliver pizza. I had a lot of time to myself to think. It was so valuable. Got to meet a lot of awesome people. Got to deliver a lot of pizza all around Rexburg and say hi and just be that guy. I mean, I remember one door I went there and there's all these petals on the ground, like balloon petals, and I picked like all of them up and put them in the girl's hand that answered the doors, like this little girl. And I was like, hopefully it made a difference. Like the, I'm a person. I'm more than just the Pizza Hut guy. And that goes for everything that I've done. I'm more than just that. You know, but Pizza Hut has some really solid systems for how they keep track of all their inventory and all this other stuff, and it really got my brain thinking. And I was like, wow, if I use this knowledge for my podcast, it would be bonkers. And I didn't really put a lot of that knowledge to application, and that's really level 3 learning. That's where so many things like really get moving, is when you apply it and you move forward with applying it. You do that. That's some good stuff. But I still have 2022 to apply all that stuff I learned, and I have a really good memory, so I can go back in my mind to different things, and I'm sure I can pull out some good stuff. So, really, some awesome stuff working at Pizza Hut, learning about systems, and just helping me to see like if you set it up really well, then pretty much anybody can do it. And that's ultimately where I want this podcast to go, is being able to just be the host and not have to worry about other things. People who other people see the value of it, creating monetary value, creating other kinds of value, and just I don't have to be the editor and all this other stuff. I can just focus on being the host. And Pizza Hut, I mean, it started with some people that learned how to do it, and then they created a system and then hired other people and made it work. So good system, good learning from that. And number 5, just learning to network, deep dive into just networking, just networking, diving deep into college websites and professional tracking of leads and stuff at StuKent. It was so good for me. So good for me. I got to learn so much about how I work and what motivates me, what inspires me, what interests me. And honestly, it's like, honestly, the tiniest little things are often what inspire me the most and help me keep going. And just having some way to keep track of how I'm doing in my progress, taking notes, all of that stuff really helps me to do my best work. And at StuKent, there's tons and tons of opportunities to network within the company, to just learn all kinds of things about the systems and the projects and the company and how it runs and all the things that are needed to make it work. And this was super good for my brain. I really am glad I got that experience, because I got to see like how all these pieces come together in this one machine to make it work. We talk about StuKent often. If you ever work at StuKent, I hope one of the things I took away from being at StuKent is they think of themselves as being in like a rocket ship, and they are growing super quickly. And so it's really cool for me to be inside of that rocket ship, really just a different environment, a very intentional culture of kindness and growth and sincerity and the core values. gratitude, good humor, growth, consistency, humility, honesty, gratitude. Consistency, 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 dependability, consistency, dependability, humility, growth, honesty, humility. Yeah, all those core values, they were definitely lived at Stu Kent, and it kind of helped me see that I need to live my life based more on values more than how I'm feeling at the time. This is something that was talked about in this book I did some reading on during the Christmas break. And I also read tons of books this year. I didn't even keep track. I don't know if I read as many as I read in 2020, but I read a lot of books. One of the big standouts was Steve Young's autobiography and also John Stockton's autobiography. Those are both really good. So, yeah, so it was a good year. It was an awesome year, and we're just gonna move on to the future, obviously. And yeah, there's a really good quote I like a lot that says, "The future's as bright as your faith." And for me, um, a lot of things like for me, faith, you have to be able to move forward when you don't understand what's going on. And for me, last year, I struggled with that, but I've definitely done a lot of searching and digging over the last couple months, and just am really ready to just go by faith, not by sight, and just go for it, and we'll see what happens. Put our best foot forward. So, and I think I know there's gonna be a ton of wins in 2022 because last year was I learned a lot. I learned a lot, and there were so many wins, as like the five I mentioned here. But there was definitely others. Got to visit my mission, so many other things. So that's it, and we're going to be doing other stuff. I'm excited for what this year will bring. Definitely going to really get on the ball with the podcast and everything, and it should be really awesome. So thank you as always for your support, and hope that you take some time to write down some of the biggest wins from 2021 for you to help you know that it was definitely a useful year and that you have something to help you move forward in 2022. So thank you again for listening. Don't forget to yield today. It'll be a better tomorrow.